If you are planning to sell your house this spring and you're trying to figure out ways you can spruce up your house without spending a ton of money, well, this video is for you. We're going to talk about 7 ways you can add value to your home that are either low cost or no cost. So let's get started. So let's face it, first impressions go a long way. And if you want buyers to come into your house rather than just continue driving by when they go to check out your house, you want to make sure that your curb appeal is on point. So the first thing I recommend sellers do is clean up your yard, whether you do it yourself or you hire a company to do it. That means sweeping the front walkway, cleaning up the beds, getting rid of piles of wood and junk that's tends to accumulate over years of living in a house. You also want to power wash the house and deck. Whether you hire a company to do it or you do it yourself, power washing really goes a long way, and it really is pretty low cost. So make sure that your front walkway is swept and cleaned, your beds along the house are picked up, any trash like piles of wood, old yard toys, maybe you have a swing set that's falling apart. Get rid of all that and be sure to power wash your house and your deck. The second thing I recommend that could either be no cost or low cost is cleaning your gutters. And this sort of piggybacks on the power washing of your house. If you live somewhere that has a lot of trees, maybe you live in a very wooded area, chances are you get a lot of gook that piles up in your gutters. Tree branches, leaves, acorns, all that stuff lands in your gutters and oftentimes ends up staying in your gutters. And walking up to a house that has like vegetation growing out of their gutters does nothing to persuade a buyer to continue on and actually go into the house. So again, cleaning gutters is something you can do yourself or you can hire someone to do it. In addition to cleaning it out just for curb appeal, gutters that are clogged can really wreak havoc on a house in terms of water damage. So not only for curb appeal, but also for the integrity of the home goes a long way. The third thing you can do that's either low cost or no cost is clean your windows. And I'm not just talking about Windexing your windows, although yes, definitely Windex your windows. I'm talking about lifting the window, cleaning all that grime and dust and dirt that gathers on the exterior sill. If you have broken screens, go ahead and get them fixed. You can buy a kit at a hardware store or you can bring it somewhere and have a professional fix your screens. Making sure that the windows are in good working order. And if you have older windows that are in good shape, you might want to consider getting them reglazed. Again, that is something you can do on your own, or you can certainly hire someone to reglaze your windows. But every time a buyer walks in a house, they always want to know the age and condition of the windows. So if your windows are not in tip-top shape, you want to fix them so that when buyers come in and they ask about the condition of the windows, your agent can say with confidence that the windows are in great shape. All right, the fourth thing you can do that is low cost or no cost is clean your carpets. If you have carpeting in your house, be sure to get them cleaned by hiring a professional or doing it yourself. Again, you can rent a steam cleaner, buy the solution, and in an afternoon, get all your carpets cleaned. If you have hardwood floors that are under your carpets and you believe that they are in good condition, just rip the carpet out and have the hardwood floor exposed. Most people prefer hardwood floors over carpeting any day of the week. But if you do not have hardwood floors under the carpet, be sure to at least get them cleaned. And if they're really in bad shape, you might want to consider replacing the carpet. You can go to a carpeting store, look for remnants, if you can find a remnant large enough to fit a room, or you can go to one of the big box stores and buy, carpeting that isn't top of the line, isn't super duper cheap, that is somewhere in the middle, and you can do it for a pretty reasonable cost. But whatever you do, make sure if you have carpeting, at least get them cleaned. Okay, I don't know where we are. I think we're at like number 5. The fifth thing that you can do that's low cost or no cost is painting. And that could mean painting the walls if the walls are in bad shape, or if they're painted a color that's, might have been to your taste, but isn't a neutral enough color that a buyer would like it. So you might have to consider painting. If the walls are painted a neutral color, you want to make sure that they're at least in good shape. So, if you had a TV up on a wall and you've taken the TV down and the bracket down and you've got some pretty significant holes, make sure to patch those up. Buying a kit at one of the big box stores is really not a lot of money, and they're pretty easy to do. So make sure that you patch up any holes, paint up any walls that need painting, any trim around the house. And for anyone who has a dog, your trim probably could use a little love, especially around the doors. I know mine can use a little bit of love. If the trim is not looking good, go ahead and either patch up and repaint or stain the trim, or just replace it. Having a freshly painted interior with bright trim really goes a long way and is pretty low cost. The next thing you can do to spruce up your house is clean your basement. Now, if you have a basement that could potentially be a livable area, you really want to make sure that you show the buyer that your basement can be additional living space. So clean out the basement. If you have to put some vinyl flooring in, or an indoor outdoor carpeting or whatnot, go ahead and do that. Whatever you can do to show that your basement is additional living space, go ahead and do that. Now, if your basement is really not, it's not finished, or really can't be finished, mainly it's just for storage, you still should go ahead and clean it out. And I mean, like, getting rid of the cobwebs, all the little dust bunnies that are sitting in corners. Really clean up that basement and freshen it up. And if you have a washer and dryer down there, you especially want to make sure that that basement is clean, because you don't want buyers going down into the basement and seeing this like dark, dank area that they're going to have to use several times a week to get laundry done. So if you don't have a finished basement, that doesn't mean you can't spruce up that basement. If it's simply for storage, it's an unfinished basement, go ahead and add some shelving. Show a buyer that your unfinished basement is very useful. And if you have a washer and dryer down in that basement, see if you can create a little laundry nook or laundry corner, so that buyers, again, see the value in that basement. The next thing you can do to spruce up your house is make sure that it smells good. So, a home that's old, that maybe has old, dirty carpeting, or has old furniture, a house that maybe has been closed for some time, can smell really musty and moldy, and can really lower the value of a house. So, if the air quality in your home is not that great, get some air purifiers in there, open up those windows, clean the carpets, get rid of dusty furniture, anything like that. Get rid of curtains if they're old and dusty, and brighten up that living space and really clean up the air quality in your house. It goes a long way in adding value to your home, and it's either low cost or no cost. And the last thing I would consider doing is looking at your appliances. And if your appliances are not in good shape, consider buying a new appliance. A basic refrigerator or a basic oven really doesn't cost a whole lot of money. And if you can find a good quality used one on Marketplace or wherever, go ahead and buy it. Again, it's one of those things that in the grand scheme of things really doesn't cost a lot of money and can go a long way in adding value to your home. Okay, so those are some ways you can add value to your home without spending a lot of money. If you have more ideas on ways that are low cost or no cost, go ahead and add it in the comments below. And if you have questions about anything that I talked about in this video, put it in the comments below. I always read the comments and I always respond. And if you found any value in this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about the real estate market, living in Massachusetts, and life as a real estate agent, go ahead and subscribe and hit that little bell so you get notified whenever a new video drops. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.